DaBaby's new album, Baby on Baby 2, is projected to move only 16,000 units in its first week. People think he's blackballed. What's up, world? It's your boy Charles Brown back again with another Talking Facts. Hit that like button, hit the subscribe, hit the notification bell. All right, so DaBaby on Baby 2, there's a lot of people talking about this album, and I want to talk about it because it seems like DaBaby's getting blackballed and his career musically, right? He's still going to be able to do shows forever and ever, right? Because of his old songs and whatever. But the new music seems like it's falling short, and I want to talk about why people like Meek Mill, DJ Akademiks, and Boosie, Lil Boosie, are saying that and DaBaby himself is saying that he's blackballed. So let me read a little bit from the article, and then we could talk about it. DaBaby's recent album, Baby on Baby 2, garnered lower sales than his previous projects, and the Charlotte rapper thinks it's because he's being blackballed. The release is projected to move 16,000 units in its first week. In contrast, Baby's previous solo record, 2020's Blame It On Baby, debuted at number 1 on the Billboard 200 and moved 124,000 album equivalent units. Still, DaBaby wasn't sweating the tepid predictions and gave himself a pat on the back for his sales. Quote, not bad for the blackballed baby. He put that on his Instagram. DJ Akademiks went on to further the blackballed conversation by tweeting, DaBaby last project in 2020, Blame It On the Baby, sold 124,000 in the first week. His new project, after being blackballed by Ebro, he's blaming Ebro, on Apple Music, is scheduled to do less than 20K. Now, y'all understand my Ebro convo. DSPs, digital streaming, DSPs control who's hot and who's not. Fall out of favor with them, you're done, right? So Ebro apparently responded, Apple Music is not the only platform. Based on this dummy's logic, DaBaby should be doing well on the platform he works for. Is it? So all of this is basically saying that they're trying to point fingers at each other. Ebro's trying to point fingers back at DaBaby. DaBaby's trying to point fingers at whoever is blackballing them. And Akademiks is trying to point fingers at Ebro, saying Ebro's the reason that that DaBaby is falling off, right? With this projection sales. Let's talk about this. Now, 2020 was a very long time ago. That's a lifetime ago. We are literally at the end of 2022. You know how much stuff happened since that? That's smack in the middle of the pandemic. Let's just start there. DaBaby was on fire. DaBaby was doing records with Dua Lipa, selling out arenas. Like, this dude was on a different trajectory. And I got my own personal reasons why it's doing these low sales. And I'm gonna talk about that in a minute. But we're gonna get into why 2020 was a different time. This dude could do no wrong. He was the new industry bad boy. He had everything going up. Everybody was talking about DaBaby. He was the guy that killed the man in Walmart and didn't do no time. He was the guy who got pressed at his video shoot to check in, and he famously told these guys, DaBaby don't check in front of some gangsters, and nothing happened to him. They didn't do nothing. They didn't make him check in. Nothing happened to him. And he was coming up with a lot of features and his buzz was crazy. Right? He had the game on complete lockdown. He was the it rapper, and for a time it was good. The song Suge came out. That thing went nuts. He was nominated for Rapper of the Year and all this good stuff like that. Career was on fire. I would garner to say I think DaBaby was considered, I think I even did a video that somebody likened him to the next Tupac, the new Tupac. And I, at the time, for the time of this era that we're in, DaBaby was the new Tupac. He was the new Tupac for what is acceptable to be Tupac at this time. He was brash, he was rich, he didn't care, he would clap you. He had it all going on. So at the time, it was Tupac. I know Tupac was more complicated than that. But I'm talking about for now, that's what he was looking like. He was looking like their version of Tupac. And with all that being said, we ended up with DaBaby being the biggest rapper in the business. He wasn't playing no games with nobody. He stood firm. I believe they tried to rob him somewhere else and they shot him. Like he just was like, he was out here like Charles Bronson. Fast forward to the infamous stage rant where he was like saying what he said about people took it as a slight on the LGBTQ community, and his career took a fast, immediate nosedive, and he was quote unquote canceled very, very swiftly. Now you gotta realize, when you're the hottest rapper in the world, some of those fans are going to be LGBTQ people, and some of those fans are going to be, I want to say, allies of the LGBTQ people. And they can't be seen. Dua Lipa who was once a big supporter of his, unfollowed him because rightfully so, for her career to thrive, she can't be associated with this sinking ship as DaBaby. Everybody started to distance themselves. He was out on an island. He was looking really crazy by himself. It looked like his career was over, but he kept going, right? Now, after that, you start to see DaBaby in these various fan-related incidents where fans walking up on him and he's doing stuff to fans to, you know what I'm saying, get in regards to his own safety. There was an incident where his daughter was there and a fan came up and he did something to the fan. I don't remember what it was, but it started to look like, on repeat, DaBaby was violent to some people. DaBaby was violent. He was quick to react in anger, and it started to rub some people wrong. Not to mention, he also had a very volatile relationship where he put his girlfriend on live as he was kicking her out. She has a baby. They have a baby together, and they're arguing and they're screaming and whatever. Well, he wasn't screaming, but she was acting crazy, and he put her on live, which I to this day believe it was a mistake to put that girl on live, even though she looked crazy and she was screaming and he was doing it to protect himself, apparently. I feel like it was a bad idea to put that girl on live because it's showing a lack of respect for that girl. Whether she's crazy or not, you could have recorded her, but you didn't need to put the girl on live, right? That was just my opinion. I thought it was a little bit much. So they're back and forth. The only more toxic relationship in all of the internet is DaBaby. I'm sorry. The only more toxic relationship in all of the internet is Blueface, right? No one looks worse than Blueface in a relationship, but this guy is pretty close. Him and Danny Lee, right? So that didn't do him no favors. The album sales are already, not album sales, but the song sales are dropping. He's getting removed from playlists over this LGBTQ thing. And we know that is true. That is a fact. They will make enough noise, whereas you won't be able to eat and breathe. The only person that's really successfully navigated that, in my opinion, is Dave Chappelle, right? Because Dave fan base is hardcore, just as hardcore as they are, if not more so. But I feel like it's too easy to blame LGBTQ for this blackballing and saying this for his career. I had to go for myself and listen to this album because I wouldn't have listened to it. I'm going to be honest with you. And there's a million people like me that have no intention of listening to it. So let's just start there. But on top of all the controversy and all of the uncertainty about where his career is going, the music has to be popping. I went and listened to it. And for the last two years, DaBaby stuff has been sounding almost identical to everything else. The flow, the everything sounds identical. And when I told you I had my own personal opinion about why this album flopped, not flop, I'm not going to say flop, why this album didn't do the numbers they thought, is because it sounds like everything else. It hasn't progressed the sound, in my opinion. Yes, you need to get on playlists. Yes, you need to be in high favors with the streaming company. All of that matters. And they can do their best to shut you down. But as we see, Tekashi was not shut down at his height when he was doing number ones back to back. He was getting no playlist love. They were doing everything to keep that man from shining. But if it's on the service and your fans want it, they're going to find it and play it. I don't know what to tell you, but Tekashi wasn't on anybody's playlist. And that dude was doing big numbers, doing number one certified Billboard. It wasn't fake number. It was certified where these numbers was official. So I don't buy into that you can be stopped. Tory Lanez is still doing his numbers, right? He is 100% getting blackballed. DaBaby, they're doing what they can, but I don't think it's, I would say at best, the playlist thing is hurting him probably 20%, 30 tops, right? I think the Megan Thee Stallion thing is the nail in the coffin. I really don't think a lot of people thought that was the player move that he thought it was going to be. I think it's the same way the Game dissed Eminem, and he thought that was going to bring him sales, and he sold right around the same thing, as, if not less, than with DaBaby. And it's two different lanes. The Game selling 12K, you expect that, not DaBaby, right? So I think the Megan Thee Stallion thing, if you hear it, it sounds so, it's crazy. It's like he's bragging about smashing this chick the day before she got shot. It sounds crazy when you say it out loud. So I don't think that the audience was going to gravitate to that, want to hear that even more, right? You got black women who are going to be like, bruh, you really just sitting out here, you telling on what you did. Let's say you did. Now we know we can't let you hit. If we famous, you going to rap about it. It's the most craziest thing. I'm like, we never did that back in the day. And somebody who did that was real mad corny, right? In my opinion. I be rooting for DaBaby. I've been rooting for DaBaby since the whole making him check in and he ain't check in. I'm like, this dude's, you know what I'm saying? He's a real dude, right? My opinion is that this has nothing to do with blackball. It sounds completely, the music, I went and listened to every single song, right? You know how Jay say, do you fools listen to it or you just skim through it? I skimmed through it. But I didn't have to hear the full songs because they sounded so much alike, right? They sounded so much alike, and there was no features. Not saying you gotta have features, but it was just no other voices. It was the exact same cadence and flow on almost every song, right? There was nothing, there was no substance. It was the same thing about dudes be hating on me, but if you step to me, I'm gonna hit you, I'm gonna shoot you, da-da-da. Girls wanna F me, da-da-da. It was the same, like everything was the same. Every single context. And even the songs that he tried to, well, I ain't gonna say tried to, even the songs that were of deeper meaning to him, he still sounded like he was saying the exact same stuff in all the other songs. So this is the problem I see with this generation of rappers. They won't try new things. They will stay in a bag until the bag gets old, right? I feel like this album is not being blackballed the way you think it is. I think that the music just not that good. I'm just going to be honest with you. And I think that the music is indicative of why people want to play stuff. Your star power is only going to go but so far. You already got the LGBTQ and everybody else mad at you. People thinking you're a crazy lunatic that wants to beat up people and you can't maintain a relationship. And when you do hit a girl, you're going to tell on her. It's crazy. It sounds like a reckless dude. So this is a new era of rappers and rap fans that they only got a certain window for that. They already got ADHD with their music, so they're not going to be tentative to that over and over and over on repeat. I do not think this album is only doing 16,000 because LGBTQ people. I'm just going to be honest with you. I think that the album does not have enough good music and it does not have enough different music. It didn't reach for anything different, right? Lil Boosie is jumping out the window saying it's blackball. I don't agree. It is blackball, but it's not why the sales are low. I just think people have heard enough. They've seen enough of DaBaby. It's the same thing on repeat. And I hope he gets better. I like his verse when he went with J. Cole and them, right? When he went with Dreamville. He killed that. If we can get more of that, if he could change his image and come off this image of untouchable, arrogant bad boy, we might need you to change it up a little bit. Change your whole vibe up. That's what people who survive. You think Jay stayed the same his entire career? No, he didn't. He changed every single time. All of them do. Drake changes. Everybody changes. They try new styles. They try new things. That's what DaBaby's gonna have to do to be successful in his music career again. Let me know what you think in the comments, man. Share the video, hit the like button. Is this album just a bad album? I'm just gonna go on a limb and tell you, I feel like it's a boring, repetitive album. I think had he made good music, it would have went and did what it's supposed to do. And they would have had to put it on playlists and everything else. So the Megan Thee Stallion thing kind of was not a good look, to be honest with you. I don't know who cares, either one way or the other, who thinks that that's a cool line. I have no idea. But you let me know what you think. I'm going to catch on that. Flip side, CLBMG. Peace.
CLB.